This is the Eliza roleplay. In this roleplay, I'll be playing the role of the worker as Adam and as the role of the client named Eliza. I will hold up this card saying Eliza when Eliza is speaking. Hi Eliza, my name's Adam. Thanks for filling out the consent and general information documents. Can you tell me a bit about yourself and what's brought you to our service today? Yes, I'm 48 years of age. I live in a council flat with my granddaughter and adult nephew and niece. Sometimes my home can be quite crowded and many family members will often drop in and stay for long periods of time. But this is quite normal for me and I'm happy to do this. I often am getting a lot of food for all these people. Everyone calls me Auntie Ezza, so Adam, I don't mind if you call me Auntie Ezza too. Okay, Arnie, it sounds like your home is a busy place and you have your hands full with taking care of a lot of people. Yes, there's time when money is quite short too, Adam. During these periods, I tend to not eat very well. We have 2-minute noodles and white bread. The supermarket's quite a long way away, and so I don't often get many fruits and vegetables either. Okay, so it sounds like your diet's quite limited due to the financial challenges of looking after many members of your family, but you're happy to look after these people. I wonder, Auntie Ezza, do you get any support from anyone else? Well, some support. I've got the Department of Family and Community Service involved with us since I'm the guardian of my granddaughter. I find these people really stress me out. They impact on my belief in my ability to be a good carer for my granddaughter. So it sounds like you've had some stressful things happening at home. You mentioned you're also caring for your nephew as well. Yes, my nephew has a disability. He's got autism and a developmental delay. We have a disability employment case manager for him, who's one of our mob. The case manager helps with information about my nephew's diagnosis and about the service that he's linked in with. The case manager's also helped a lot with my nephew in general, especially with the other services he's involved with. Okay, so you're linked in with some services and supports for your granddaughter and nephew, but what about you? Can you tell me a bit more about yourself? Well, Adam, I'm a member of the stolen generation. My childhood was very fragmented. I lived in a lot of group homes and foster homes from when I was 2 to when I was 15. Adam, it's very hard for me to talk about it, but I was raped when I was 16 and I became pregnant. The child I had was adopted out and it's really impacted on my life since. I have a lot of regret around that. I often feel very helpless and hopeless. I've got very little self-confidence, and thinking about these things make me feel like I'm not worthwhile. Arnie, it sounds like you've had some traumatic events throughout your life, and they've left you feeling quite low with your self-esteem and having a low opinion of yourself. Maybe you're putting all your energy into caring for others to help take the focus off yourself. Yeah, you're probably right, Adam. I've also got 4 other children. John, who's studying engineering at university. Ben, who's about to finish his apprenticeship. Jocelyn, unfortunately, she's been involved with drugs and is in detention after theft. And Jonas, who is my oldest, he's 33 and he's a shearer. Okay, Arnie, so you've got your own children. They're making their choices with their lives, with their work and with the challenges they're having. What about any work or study for you, Auntie Ezza? Well, I'm currently doing studies in nursing and I'm really keen to show my granddaughter that Indigenous women are strong and capable. I work part-time as an aged care worker supporting older Indigenous people. I've got a mentor at work called Viv. She's been incredibly supportive in helping me learn my role, but in also helping me feel confident in my abilities. Okay, Arnie, as it sounds like Viv's a great support for you and you're very busy with all your work and study and you want to act as a good role model for your granddaughter. Yes, I do. And I guess, Adam, that's why I've come to your service today. I want to tell you I'm having some trouble with some marijuana smoking. I use it recreationally, just a few joints during the week and maybe a couple more on the weekend. But I'm trying to give this up. It's very bad for my own health, I know that, and also bad because my nephew has recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia as a consequence of the marijuana, they tell me. Okay, so anything else along the lines with your mental health that you might have a diagnosis with, or relationship issues, Auntie Eza? Yes, I've been experiencing some depression and I do have trouble with relationships. I do want to be in a caring and supportive relationship, but for me, it always seems that I end up with men that are very violent and erratic with their behaviour. Okay, Auntie Eza, thank you for being so honest with me about your struggles with your mental health and telling me about how you're going with your leaf use. The issue you have with the troubled relationships, especially violent and erratic men, sounds like it's a long history to that. Perhaps your desire is to fix these men. It might also be, like we mentioned before, that it takes the focus off your own self-care. However, this is something that I believe a professional counsellor or psychologist should be able to explore in more depth with you. Have you sought help for any of these issues, Auntie Eza? Well, not specifically, but I did join a women's Indigenous group a few years ago. This has been a really good source of friendship and social support, as well as it's fun for me and a great outlet. Okay, so it sounds like the group's really good support for you, Auntie Eza. What else in your life brings you joy? Well, I also enjoy camping and I love getting out into the bush and to the land. I feel a great connection with my land. That's fantastic, Auntie Eza. I hope you get many more opportunities to go camping in this beautiful country in the future. Now I want to talk more about our service. We use something called the recovery model as we support you. This model empowers you as our client to be the driving force in how you overcome your challenges and work towards your goals. We will act alongside you to advocate for the changes that you want to meet your recovery. An advocate is a person or a professional who will act on your behalf and assist you in an attempt to reach the best possible outcome in the situation you may be dealing with. Okay, thank you, Adam, I understand. I also want to talk to you, Auntie Eza, about your rights and responsibilities as our service user. Basically, what that means is that you have the right to feel safe and be treated with dignity and respect. As a client of our service, we will provide you with information that's accurate, timely, and easy to understand. There's a lot more information I'll be providing you in our information pack about your rights and responsibilities. You also have the right and responsibility to treat our service workers with the same dignity and respect that we treat you. We also need to talk about privacy and confidentiality. We, as a service, recognise and respect your right to privacy and confidentiality in all aspects of your involvement with us. And we want you to know that all your information is maintained in a secure environment. Again, there's a lot more detail to the confidentiality policy that I will provide you with that you can have a look at. I do need to let you know that there are some circumstances in which I might have to breach that confidentiality. For example, if there's any evidence of physical, sexual, or serious emotional abuse or neglect, where suicide is threatened or attempted, there's disclosure or evidence of serious self-harm, including drug or alcohol misuse that may be life-threatening, or even when there's evidence of a serious mental illness. Again, all this information will be provided to you in an information pack that you can take home with you. I need to ask you, do you feel safe in your home with respect to any risk to either from someone else or anything you have done or thought about to harm yourself? Well, no one that comes into the house has been violent towards me at the moment. I don't ever think about harming myself. It's just that I feel low sometimes. Okay, thanks for sharing this with me, Auntie Eza. I'll provide you today with a list of safety contacts who you can call, not only for when you're feeling low, but in case you're feeling down, or if you've got some visitors there and you feel unsafe and they behave in an aggressive way towards you. Okay, thank you for that list, Adam. I'll put it in a safe place. Now, I want to talk to you about your goals, Aunt Eliza, and how I can assist you to link into the appropriate supports. Have you thought about any goals that you have? Yes, my goals are that I want to help with managing my emotions. I really like to overcome my low self-esteem and depression and my feelings of hopelessness. I'd like to overcome my addiction to the marijuana, so coming off the leaf is important to me. I want help with the relationships, to improve relationships with my children and help me understand why I keep running into trouble with other relationships, such as with aggressive men who I've had as partners. I really need help with money and budgeting. I know I'm not eating well, so I want to feel better physically. I just want to feel healthier overall. And I probably need support to get out and about and taking care of myself a bit more. Okay, Anya, so it sounds like you've got some good understanding for what you'd like to change. It's a very thorough list of goals that you've suggested. Now, let's talk about the supports and advocacy that I can help you with to achieve these goals. I'm going to, like I say, provide you with a safety plan that will include that list of contacts I've given you, who is people like Lifeline, Suicide Hotline, the CAT team, which is the Crisis Assessment and Treatment team, in case you or anyone else in the house ever is in a very emotionally challenged situation or aggressive. There's Beyond Blue and the Domestic Abuse Hotline, just to mention some of those contacts. I'm going to refer you to a alcohol and other drug counsellor to help you with the marijuana use and overcoming that issue. You're already linked into the Indigenous Women's Group, which is going to be very helpful as an ongoing support, especially socially. I'm going to organise a outreach mental health support worker for home visits to help you with domestic activities and accessing the community, to help get you to appointments, transport to the supermarket. I'm also hoping, with your consent, that the worker can support you to the GP to obtain a mental health care plan for a psychology referral and perhaps explore other options there for trauma counselling. I'm going to book that GP appointment with you today. I also will talk to that support worker about advocating for any other health needs that you have. Myself and that support worker will be needing to come to your house, Aunt Eliza, just to do a home risk assessment, which is common procedure for all our clients. I'm going to provide you with some mindfulness strategies, which are self-help ideas to distract you from your negative thoughts. And for example, if you want get the urge to smoke a joint, you can use those mindfulness strategies. Perhaps we can talk at our next meeting about the Department of Community Services that you're involved with and whether you would like me to advocate for you in your relationship with them. I'm going to provide you with a map, so a walking route to the closest community centre or public transport route. Now, the community centre can help you with things such as they have a food bank where they donate food. There's financial counsellors there that can help you with bills and perhaps even with the cost of transport and that sort of thing. So what do you think about all those things, Aunt Eliza? Yes, this is wonderful, Adam. I'm glad you can support me with all these things. Okay, Aunt Eliza, I'm glad you feel I can help you in support with your recovery. I'm going to finish today by providing you with the information kit I discussed and let you know that you can call me on my number that I'm providing as part of that kit. I can call you within business hours and I will get back to you as soon as I can. The kit also contains information about all those other privacy, confidentiality, rights and responsibility issues. I'd like you to think about your strengths. I'm going to provide you with what I call a strengths document that I'd like you to have a look at and think about and perhaps write down some ideas on that document. Also, there's something called a self-completion form. I'd like you to have a go at this before our next appointment. It will help me have a better understanding about your overall health and well-being. Do you have any questions, Aunt Eliza? No, Adam, thank you for your help. I'm feeling much better already. Okay, that's okay, Aunt Ezra. It's great to meet you, and thank you for sharing with your story with me today. I'll make an appointment for us again in 1 week's time. Okay, Adam, thank you. Bye. That's the end of the role play.